Mr. Johnson, I'm going to be reading some information into the record, and after that, we're going to be asking you some questions. Also in attendance today here at headquarters is your mother, Diane Johnson, and she wants to speak on your behalf, and we will let her do that, okay?
Okay.
Sir, we find that you are a second-class offender. You're currently serving a 25-year sentence for distribution of heroin and possession with the intent to distribute fentanyl. You have a parole eligibility date just passed, September 14th, 2024. You have an adjusted good time date of March 19th, 2026, and a full term date of 6/15/2043. Does that sound correct according to your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will note that you have earned 360 days of good time credit for program while you've been incarcerated. Mr. Johnson, are you currently in the transitional work program?
Yes, ma'am.
And where are you working?
At Cuba Consolidated. I work on a boat.
I see. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
A lot more sense than having to drive all the way up. Okay. So how long have you been in transitional work program?
For 25 months.
And do you like it?
Yes, ma'am. I love it.
You making some money?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Haven't had a write-up since you've been on the boat?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, Donnie, I don't know if you're aware that in the past, people who were found with possession with the intent to distribute heroin were charged with life.
Yes, ma'am.
You're aware that fentanyl is even more deadly than heroin?
Yes, ma'am.
Were you a user or just a seller?
A seller.
So you didn't use your own product? You didn't?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So why were you selling?
I made some bad decisions and didn't know any better. And I regret. I take full accountability of my choices.
So when you get a 25-year sentence for possession with the intent to distribute fentanyl, did you feel like you got a good break there?
Yes, ma'am, because I was offered lesser time, but I didn't take it. So the sentence that I received, I feel that it was more time to give me a more eye opener and get rehabilitated in the class that I took.
You know, a lot of people who were within the prison walls would love to have the opportunity to be working on a boat while they're incarcerated, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's like creme de la creme of the transition work program jobs. You're not skinning chicken or something. Okay. Do my colleagues have any questions?
How much money do you have in your account?
Well, I didn't get an update on my receipt, but I believe like 60,000.
That is great. Okay. Have you sent any home to family members?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how often you send money home to your family members?
But they only let you do it for like holidays and for when school starts.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Well, I'm glad you saved that much. That's amazing. You're gonna have a good start when you get out there. The problem is what you do with it.
Yes, sir.
So if you go buy a fentanyl, you end up next time being in life.
No, I'm not doing it no more. I'm not doing that anymore. I have accepted Christ in my life from the Celebrate Recovery class. And so dealing is not part of my plans anymore.
Mr. Prater?
Yes, ma'am. Let me ask you a question. I've got on the records I'm looking at, I see two charges. And one is the arrest date is 9/2/2022. That's a misprint or something in there. That's the wrong deal. You weren't out in 2022, were you?
No, sir. I've been locked up since February of 2018.
Okay. All right, well, that was I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something. And so you've been locked up from from really 2017, correct?
Yes, 2018, February of 2018.
Okay. And so that's 6 years, and you sold 2 times to undercover people, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And so that's a pretty good lick for 2 distribution charges. And you're gonna get out next year anyway, correct?
No, sir. In 2026.
Okay. Okay, March of 2026. And why, just tell me this, why should I believe you?
Well, I have bettered myself. I can read the letter that I had wrote.
Yes, sir, I've read your file and I've studied it. I just want to hear, I want you to convince me that you deserve to go ahead and get out. And that's because I don't know you and you don't know me, and
Yes,
it's kind of
sir.
like a job interview. I just want you to sell yourself to me.
Okay, I take full responsibility of my choices and the negative impact they have had. Since my incarceration, I have actively sought opportunities for self-employment and rehabilitation, participating in counseling, educational programs, and vocational training has given me insight into the consequences of my actions and the importance of making amends. I want to assure you that I am committed to leading a law-abiding life upon release. I have learned valuable lessons from these experiences, and primary focus is on contributing positively to society. I am genuinely remorseful for the pain I have caused and determined to use this opportunity for personal growth and redemptions.
Okay. Are you gonna work at the same place when you get out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I got.
Oh, where are you gonna live? You gonna move up that way?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna move with my mother first, and then I'm gonna try to find me a house in the area so I can be close to my job.
I have,
Well, I'd like to ask you, so other than, I mean, would it be to your advantage to stay in and continue working at the transitional work program now?
Madam,
Would there be any disadvantage for you staying in and just continuing to work at the transitional work program?
staying in and completing working. Well,
Yeah.
I have
2026.
I'm
Just staying in and continue working until 2026.
okay. Well, I would like to get the help, be able to help my mother because she's disabled, and for to be there to help her to give her a hand on, because she's the only one living at home right now. That's why I was going to live with her until I'll be able to find me somewhere to go.
Okay, well, this is a great segue. She's here today and we're going to allow her to speak.
Okay.
Ms. Johnson, if you'd like to go to the podium and address us.
Yes, you, I gotta do a motion on the door. But my name's Shannon Johnson, I'm Donnie Johnson's mother. And I had back surgery, I had 74 staples in my back, I have I have 2 discs, both screws. I'm going on the 24th to have surgery, as you can see, I have a knot here. And I feel like, that he learned his lesson. He never been in jail this long. And I also built his credit up for him, that when he come home, he have a line of credit, that where he can be ready for society. And I feel like, he's ready, and you only get one chance in life, and I hope that he get granted today, that he have learned his lesson. And, we make our own choices in life. So if he allowed parole today, and he decided to go back down the old road, which I feel like he's not gonna go down the old road, that he's gonna be okay. I know you hear this all the time, that people say what they're gonna do and they return back. I have endured a lot of tragedy within my life, within the last 9 years. I lost Officer Darrell Holloway, which is my son's father, due to Travis Ball. And I've been, visiting my son to keep above the water, to keep me going. And I'm just overexcited, overwhelmed today to see him. And I prefer him to be home because I'm a broken down Shelly. And if he grant it today, I'll be more than happy. And if not, I understand. I can't do no more than that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Johnson, when you've only served how many years? 6 years. You've been in since
6 years and 8 months.
on a 25-year sentence.
Yes, ma'am.
You know why you got that high of a sentence? Because of fentanyl. Fentanyl is very unforgiving. And there's just so many people who have lost their lives to that. And you,
Yes, ma'am.
now,
When I spoke with the detective that arrested him, he told me it was just heroin. I didn't never hear nothing about fentanyl.
Charge with them.
it's in the record.
I was just angry, so I wouldn't know about that.
Today, Mr. Johnson, I think that you're doing a great job where you are on the boat. I think it's a really, really grand opportunity you're making today. My vote today is going to be to deny you because of the length of time served. Don't think that you, it's only not even a third of your sentence yet. And so my vote is to deny. Mr. Freeman?
I concur, Mr. Johnson, but you're doing great.
You are.
Keep saving that money. Save it for and get out, take care of your mother. But you gotta serve at least 33% of your time, me, anyway, so. My vote is to, deny.
Mr. Prater?
I'll stick with the panel, but I want to tell Mr. Johnson, I think you're doing great. Just want to remind you that the reason some people talk about a victimless crime, and Ms. Ledoux touched on it. It's not a victimless crime when you sell somebody heroin or you sell somebody fentanyl or even cocaine. Whatever, it's not a victimless crime, and so that's what you're kind of paying back society. But I think you've done an excellent job in jail, and your attitude is great. You're respectful. You're making a lot of money. You're seeing you're making more money now, and you're gonna have a lot more than selling dope. I'm telling you. So you're on the right path, and I appreciate the attitude that you got. But I agree with them. Hadn't even served a third of your sentence, and there's some reason the judge gave you that much. So I concur with the denial.
Mr. Johnson, we really wish you well. I hope that it goes well and you get out and you're very successful. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's 26.
March of 2026. We are finished with our business there. Sir, would you please introduce yourself with your name and your DOC number?
Shannon Bertrand.
Let the record reflect your DOC number is 623647. I am going to read some allegations against you for violating your parole, and you're going to enter a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement. You were arrested by the Calcasieu Parish Sheriff's Office on 5/21/2024 for the crimes of aggravated domestic abuse, felony, and false imprisonment, which is a misdemeanor. These charges were downgraded to criminal mischief misdemeanor, in which you pled guilty 7/16/2024. How do you plead?
Well, I did plead guilty to criminal mischief.
So you plead guilty to criminal mischief. Number 10, you've never made payments towards your fees, and you're currently $569 in arrears. How do you plead?
Plead guilty to that.
So you were released August of last year, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
We do have your sister, Shalisa Bertrand, who is joining us via Zoom, that would like to speak on your behalf, and we'll let her do that now. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and just address us with what you want us to know.
Hello, my name is Shalisa Bertrand. I'm Shannon Bertrand's sister. And I just wanted to take this time and thank y'all for giving me this time to speak. And I was just speaking on my brother's behalf, just saying that he's a very loving person. He has children out here that needs him. He has a son that is a star player. That's about to soon graduate that needs him home, a daughter. He's able to hold down a job, and he has a house that is still rent still being paid for whenever he is released. And Shannon, he helps my mom a lot. He helps us all out a lot. He's a very caring person. He helps with our children, his nieces and nephews. And we would just, hopefully he'll be able to come home.
Thank you very much for being with us, Ms. Bertrand.
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, Mr. Bertrand, do you answer questions by Mr. Freeman?
Okay, good morning, Mr. Bertrand. Tell me what went on. What happened? Why were you arrested?
Okay, it was the morning. Me and my girlfriend, we had a argument, a disagreement, and like I believe the neighbors heard us arguing because we live in an apartment, and the neighbors, I think the neighbors, somebody called the police. And then once the police arrived, my girlfriend, she Hispanic, she could barely speak English. So when she was trying to explain to them, they don't know we're just arguing, and they couldn't really understand her. So they end up just taking me to the parish jail, and like about a month later, she ended up signing an affidavit form on my behalf. So that's pretty much really that happened that really led to my arrest.
Okay, was
And
there a
I
knife
pled guilty
involved?
to. Excuse me?
Was there a knife
knife?
involved?
No, I didn't have a knife. When the police came inside, she was holding a knife at the kitchen, and she ended up giving it to him, but they seen her with it.
Did you grab her by the arm and throw her on the bed?
A bottle? No.
Okay, was she trying to leave and you wouldn't let her?
When the police came, I was trying to tell the police I wanted her out, but she didn't want to leave. We was just like arguing behind the whole situation, stuff that going on in the phone she didn't like.
That's not making sense according to the arrest report, because I mean, she sent emails to her church saying she was trying to get out of there and you wouldn't let her leave. So what's that about? I mean, she just made the emails up or what?
I don't know, like we was talking, and then I ended up telling her that I wanted her to leave because it's some stuff that she seen in my phone, and some stuff that we could just basically just arguing behind everything. So she seen stuff in the phone, and I wanted her to leave, but she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go because she wanted to continue talking about this, what exactly what was going on. So
Right.
I don't.
Would you not let her call her kids? Did you take her phone and wouldn't let her call her kids?
Did I take her phone? All right. At one time, I did get her phone that morning because she was looking through my phone. So I'm like, let me look through yours because you be looking through mine. So basically, that's what happened.
Okay. Well, was her phone in your pocket when the police got there?
Yes.
Okay. And also, you tested positive for THC and PCP. What's that about? You using drugs again?
At one time, I tested positive for PCP in September of last year, and after that, I started a rehab. I started outpatient rehab center out here in Lake Charles, and I've been clean since.
Been clean since.
11.
Okay. Where is she today? Are y'all still talking?
We still be talking. We talk. Matter of fact, I just talked to her last night. She was supposed to be here, but I don't know what happened. I just talked to her last night on the phone.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering where she was. That sure would help your case. Now, why you said you pled guilty?
All right, I pled guilty because my parole officer had told me if my charge get dropped down from to like a lesser misdemeanor that's not dealing with a victim, then I wouldn't get violated. So after she found the affidavit, I was gonna wait. But once I went to court and they asked me if I wanted to plea out the criminal mischief, I just went ahead and did it because I didn't think I was gonna get violated.
You know, we sent a memo out, and that's what making me question that. We have told all parole officers, never tell you you're not gonna be violated, because you could be violated even with no charges, much less pleading guilty to a charge. You understand?
I understand. So.
Okay, I have no further questions.
I'd like to address something you said to Mr. Freeman that doesn't seem quite right according to you went to an outpatient rehab in August, is that correct? You went to outpatient drug rehab in August of last year?
No, I started in September last year. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I went to an inpatient rehab in August last year. I put myself in inpatient rehab in August of last year, like a week after I paroled out. And then I started outpatient rehab in September last year.
And you had a failed drug test in November.
Oh, it was September. Not November. No, right.
Okay.
I can't remember the date.
Why did you not report to the day reporting center? You were supposed to go to day reporting center and you never completed the intake.
You talking the reporting center, the mental health over there? Me and my parole officer, we had an agreement for me to go to the Imperial Health on Carmen Street, and I was going into my Medicaid, and it ran out. I had to renew my Medicaid.
Mr. Prater, do you have any questions?
Not much, but tell me about the knife. Whose knife was that?
That was hers.
It was a folding knife, huh?
I suppose, yes.
Okay. Did you ever have it and threaten her with it?
No, sir. Because when the police went in, she had the knife. But she wasn't threatening me with it either. She was just in the kitchen with it.
Okay. I don't have any questions. I think I know what's going on.
Okay. At this time, Mr. Freeman, are you prepared to vote?
Yes, ma'am. You pled guilty in court to the criminal mischief, which was a big break from the charges that you had pending. Not find you guilty of violating condition number 4 and number 10, and I vote to revoke your parole.
Mr. Prater?
Concur. Yes, ma'am, I concur. That's all I'll say. 4 and 10.
Mr. Bertrand, I also vote to revoke. I think that you had a difficult time on supervision, and I'm not sure you've been as forthcoming with the facts of the matter today. I find you guilty of number 4 and 10. You have been revoked today, sir. Okay, this is the We're going to be hearing Ms. Carter. Would you please introduce yourself and give us your DOC number for the record?
My name is Andrea Carter. I don't know my DOC number.
So we'll go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is read some parole violation allegations against you, and you're going to give me a plea of guilty, not guilty, or guilty with a statement, okay? Rule violation number 4, you failed to refrain from criminal conduct, which led to your arrest on 5/22/2024 at Tangipahoa Parish Sheriff's Office. You were charged with battery on a dating partner. On 8/8/2024, the charge was rejected by the 21st JDC. How do you plead?
Not guilty.
Number 10, you're currently in arrears $630 toward your supervision fees. How do you plead?
Guilty.
We do have today in attendance on Zoom your mother and your sister. Your mother would like to make a statement on your behalf. So at this time, Andrea Carter, do you want to address the panel?
Yes, ma'am.
Just go ahead, say what you have to say.
Okay, I am the mother of Andrea Carter. And when all this happened, it wasn't no hand touching or nothing. Actually, the girl is kin to us, and they was arguing and stuff. And I did call the police, but I didn't call the police to press no charges on her, nothing. I am a single mom, and I took her all my kids. And if my kids say something to disrespect me, I just get them from anything happening or anything. I just get them off the thing, and for her to come back, not for them to put no charges up on them. I love my children, and I don't want to see my daughter. My daughter have a talent, and she's blessed. And the next day, they took her to jail. My baby was to start a job the next day. And I just feel like they just been holding her for nothing. But we told the officer, do not put no charges up on her. He just said he was going to make her leave and then come back. And then 3 months later, we had started going to church. We had got into church and everything. And 3 months later, this charge come up. And I just feel like that it wasn't right. But I just ask that they, give her a chance. She's young. And I love my children. Like being a single mom, I had 6 children and one of them died. And I just want my daughter to have a chance at life. And that's all I'm asking is that they give her a chance that, she can get out and do right. I know this really got her head together. And I don't like to see my kids up in jail, but, God do everything for a reason. And I just think that it's unfair, but like life is unfair. But I just ask that they give her a chance that she get out and do right. I know that she's going to go in the right path.
Right. We thank you. Appreciate your support of her.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm going to ask Mr. Prater. Mr. Prater, would you like to begin our questioning?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Carter, tell me about the incident that occurred where this other lady ended up with some scratches and a knot on her head. And who was that lady?
That was my cousin, and we never did get into any physical fight. We had an argument. So where the scratches and the bruises came from, that was not there.
Okay.
Those were not there at all, sir.
Okay, did she recant all of this to the district attorney's office?
Oh, what is that word? What do you mean by that?
Did she take all this back? Did she tell the DA none of this happened or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that's why they dropped the charges, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you in any kind of relationship with your cousin, or was it just?
No,
okay.
No, sir.
Because what I was interested in was when you signed up for parole this time, you mentioned that you were getting some threatening emails or something from someone. And
yes, that was an old girlfriend. She was like threatening me through text messages and everything, sir.
Okay, that wasn't the same person, what I was getting at.
No, sir.
Okay, all right. And how long have you been on parole?
I've been on, I've had a 7-year sentence. I've been on parole for, I want to say, it's been a little minute. Like I just came home like 11 months ago. So
Okay.
it's been about 3 to 4 years.
And when you were on parole before, 2 different times you've been revoked, is that right?
No,
Were you revoked or just held on technical violations?
I wasn't revoked on parole. I was revoked on probation, I want to say.
Okay. It was probation, not parole I'm looking at then. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Can I say something, sir?
Yes, ma'am. That's what this is for.
I can admit to my wrongs. When I do wrong, sir, I can admit to that. But I didn't do anything wrong this time. Not this time, sir. Like I would be confront and upfront with you and tell you, yes, sir, I did this and be willing to take my punishment on what I've done. But I didn't do anything wrong this time. And from her making a mistake, she went and told them she made up a lie.
Okay. Okay, I don't have any other questions.
Don't have any questions.
So were you previously sanctioned for drug problems?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you admitted to use of drugs in February of 2024, and you were sanctioned for that. You were verbally reprimanded.
You said I no, I never did a sanction for drugs.
You've had a self-reported drug use.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am, not me. I never did a sanction for drugs a day in my life.
You didn't do a sanction because they just reprimanded you.
They gave you a verbal
They gave
warning.
you a verbal reprimand. They did not put you in jail. They didn't send you anywhere. They gave you a verbal reprimand and said, don't do this again. But you did tell them that you were using drugs. So stated that she recently smoked a blunt containing marijuana and would fail the drug screen. And then she fussed at you and reprimanded you and let you go. Did that happen?
Ma'am. She wasn't my PO at that time. A man was my PO.
Okay.
Okay, the reason I bring it up is I want you to be successful on parole. And I want to address, if you're having a problem with drug use, let us help you so that you can be successful. That's why I brought it up. You were sanctioned for drugs. I don't understand why. This is Nicholas Gross. Nicholas Grow is who wrote this. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your PO, right? That was your PO.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so are you having problems with drugs?
No, ma'am, I'm not having problems with drugs, but I could use the help.
That's all. I just wanted to find out if there was something, to help out. And that's all the questions I have. Mr. Prater, are you prepared to vote?
One more question. Do you have any violent crimes that you've been charged with in the past?
Like when you say violent, sir, like what do you mean when you say violent?
I just want to hear what you say. There was any violence against somebody?
I want to say yes, but I also want to say no because it wasn't on my sheet, and that was the person that I told you about that was sending the threats.
Right.
That's the person I was telling you about.
So what I'm trying to do is figure out, because I never want to parole somebody or vote to not parole them or vote not to revoke them and keep them in jail if they're going to get out and hurt somebody.
I wouldn't, sir. I promise you I wouldn't.
Well, that's what I'm asking, if you've ever done that in the past.
No, sir.
Okay, I'm prepared to vote. Are you ready, Madam Chairman?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I'm willing to take a chance on her. I think that the fact that her mom was there and that there was an argument and I don't know what all happened, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, I feel like that she's being truthful with us, and she was truthful when she checked in at the parole office, and she self-reported her drug use, and anyway, I think we ought to take a chance on her, or that my vote is that I will take a chance on her and not revoke her.
Okay, Mr. Freeman.
Yeah, it's a very tough call, Ms. Carter. I'm gonna tell you, your mother says she called the police to get you out of the residence, so there had to be some kind of confrontation going on for her to call the police. And when you call the police, somebody's gonna get charges pressed on them most of the time. But with the affidavit saying that you hadn't touched her and the DA did not pursue the charges, my vote today is going to be to not revoke, but add a special condition that you and Miss Wells don't get in the same vicinity. I know
Yes,
she's your
sir.
cousin, but I don't want y'all around each other.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Carter, I'm concerned about your drug use because that's going to set you up for failure. So I'll concur with my colleagues and do not revoke, but I do want you to have a substance abuse evaluation and do some outpatient substance abuse treatment. You got to get that under control, because what you do when you're high or whatever is not the person you are when you're gone, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so today you have not been revoked. However, special conditions have been placed upon you that you have no contact with Ms. Wells and that you get a substance abuse evaluation and follow any guidelines that they recommend.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
And we don't want to see you again. All
You
right.
won't.
That's the only. We're signing out at 11:43. We have no other business there. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.